Hello, in this video we're going to have a quick recap on how to expand a single bracket. So I'm going to have an expression, I'm going to have something outside my brackets, and I'm going to have at least two terms inside my bracket. And what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to make sure I multiply whatever's outside the brackets by both things inside the bracket. So let's give the first one a go. So I'm going to take my 7 and I'm going to multiply it by the first thing that's in the bracket. Remember, I've got 7 lots of this bracket. I've got that invisible multiplication sign there that's normally not written in. Oh, I've made a mess of that. Let's make that a little bit neater. 7 lots of this bracket A plus 3. So I'm going to do 7 and I'm multiplying it by A. So 7 lots of A, that's just going to be 7A. Then I need to take the 7 and multiply it by the second thing in my bracket. So I'm going to take my 7 and I'm going to multiply it by my 3. 7 lots of 3 is 21. And I'm going to have a think about my term, my sign. So I've got a positive here. I've got nothing in front of the 7, so remember, if I've got nothing there, I'm going to assume it's a positive number. So a positive times a positive, and I'm going to end up with positive. So positive times a positive is positive. 7A plus 21. Next one. This one's a little bit more complicated because this time I've got a number in front of my variable inside the bracket. But I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take whatever's outside and I'm going to multiply it by the two terms that are inside. So first things first, 3 lots of 2A. I'm going to write that as 3 times 2A, and we'll think about what that might mean in a minute. And then I've got 3 lots of 2, well that's 6. Nothing in front of my 3, so a positive times a negative is going to be a negative. Let's have a think about what I mean here. 3 lots of 2A. Well, 2A is just 2 times A. But the 3 times 2 bit, well, I know what that is. 3 times 2 is just 6. So this is 6 lots of A. So this is going to be equal to 6 lots of A. And then I need to remember my minus 6, minus 6. First two questions. Third one's getting a little bit trickier again, because this time, rather than having a number outside my bracket, I've got a variable. I've got an x. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to multiply my x by my first term in the bracket. So x times x, or x times x, is x squared. And then I need to multiply my x by the second term in my bracket, so x times 2. That's going to give me, well, I could write it like this. But we don't do that in maths. We make sure we always write this 2 in front of my x. I want to swap those around. I want to write the number first and then the letter. So this is equal to x squared plus 2x. Let's have a look at the next one. So we've got 4x times x plus 3. So I'm going to take my 4x and I'm going to multiply it by the first thing that I've got inside my brackets. So I'm going to multiply my 4x, my pen wants to work, by my x. Well, I've got 4x. Well, I know what x lots of x is. That we've just done that up here. X times x was x squared. And this time I've got 4 lots of x times x. So I'm going to get 4 lots of x squared. I can write that one in. 4x squared. Then I'm going to take my 4x and I'm going to multiply it by second term in my bracket. So 4x times 3, I'm going to write that down. 4, remember 4x is 4 times x times 3. So I don't really want to leave my answer like this because it's not simplified yet. So this is nice and simplified. I've got a number and I've got my my variable with a square in. It's all nice and tidy. This isn't tidy because I've got 2 numbers here and I've got my x in the middle, so I need to simplify it. And the thing that I need to remember is that if I've got multiplication here, it doesn't matter what order I'm going to do them in. So I'm going to take, let's write it here, 4x squared, I'm going to write it as 4 times 3 times x. So it doesn't matter, these things, 4 times x times 3, I can do them in any order I want. So it's always easier to sort out your numbers first. 4 times 3 times x. This is going to be equal to, well, I've got my 4x squared, and I've got 4 times 3. Well, I can do that. That's 12. And then I've got 12 times x, so 12 lots of x plus 12x. And we've got our answer. The last one's a little bit different. This time we've got our bracket, but we don't know what we've got outside it. So we need to work out what this thing is that I'm going to multiply x plus 5 by to get 2x plus 10. The easiest thing to do is going to be to look at the x's. So I've got something times my x is going to be equal to 2x. So something times the x is equal to 2x. That thing there is going to have to be my 2. So 2 lots of x, 2x, that works. And let's check the second one. So 2 times plus 5, 2 lots of 5 equals 10. Happy with my answer. So the thing that goes outside my brackets is going to be the number 2. Okay, your turn to get a little bit of practice. So follow the instructions in the document and give the exercise a go.